And it's the hottest entertainment stories coming up right here, right now. This is Tea Time. Hello and welcome to the program. I am Tokumbo Taiwo and I'm here with the well-informed and well-meaning Ife Oshinkeye. Hello,
What's
Ife.
up?
What's
How
up?
you doing? Good.
What's new?
We're going to be discussing virtually everything that is new.
That is
today.
new, yeah? So in that case, I think we should move on to our first story. And it's on Lion King 2019. The first teaser and trailer has actually been released for the new film. And before we talk about it, take a quick look.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
And that was a clip of The Lion King coming out in 2019. Very, very interesting. And like I said to you, Ife, earlier, that I've always been a fan of Lion King. So this is really, I'm really, really looking forward to it. What's your take on it, Ife?
I think this is amazing. This is something we're all looking forward to in 2019. It's going to be released July 2019. So I'm definitely looking forward to this because Beyonce is going to be Nadia. Right? Nala, sorry, I said Nadia, it's Buhari. Nala, which is Simba's love interest, and Simba will be played by Ejiofor, our very own Ejiofor. So yes, I'm looking forward to this.
But I don't understand it. I don't know, it might be a silly question, but if seriously, this is going to be like a proper animated version like it always is, or because you know, like Disney has done real life movies of films that they've done that has been animated in the past. Yeah. So I'm like, is that what they're doing, or is it going to be animated?
That same question is what has been bothering on my mind for. I even asked people around, and they said no, it's still animation. It's just HD, but. When I watched it, it doesn't look when I watched the trailer, it doesn't look anything animated to me. It looks so real. Like, did you see the animals? I saw it, They looked so real. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's something that is good because, and again, they called it the live action trailer. Do you understand? So if it's the live action, I don't think the live action would be the animated version, so I think we just
all right, you know what, let's actually take a quick look at this at the video trailer, and then we can talk some more about it. Take a look.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
So that was a quick clip regarding Lion King coming out in 2019. I've had a look and it does look very nice. And like you said, it's animation.
It's animation
but
still,
it's on a whole new level.
Now that I'm seeing it on a bigger screen, it's still animation. It's just HD animation.
It does look good. So I'm sort of looking forward to what's going to be new with it on 2019.
And I hope it comes out in 3D as well. So.
You see, it's a fantastic cast, and but the thing is, people are wondering, will it be the same story?
Yes,
with different...
no, they already said it. It's the same storyline. Nothing is going to change about the story.
So what's the point of going to see the same old story with different people acting? Because that's what some people are speculating now, that they can't see the point.
It's the same reason why you went to see Jungle Book. The new version of Jungle Book, which was still the same Tarzan story, but we all still saw it and it looks better. Of course, there will be a few changes here and there, but it's the same.
If it's just doing the same, it's not going to be cool.
No, it's going to be the same storyline. It's just going to be like a twist in the storyline, but basically it's the same story.
I would be like,
it will still be the same story of Uncle Scar trying to rule the kingdom and Simba trying to rule the kingdom. So it's still the same old Lion King.
But I wish there would be such a mega change, you know, even though like the storyline is at the end of the day to save, you know, the kingdom. I would like the obstacles that they face. I think that can be different.
But you know how time flies, right? Because if you think about it, that was 1994.
Okay, I was going to even say 93.
Yeah, 1994. I'm sure a lot of people were not even. A lot of people in. How do I put this now? That
I understand what you mean.
That it won't sound rude.
Exactly. I understand what you mean.
We're not even born as at 1994. Like I know people that were born in 1994, and I remember Lion King so vividly, like it was yesterday. So I'm like, man, I'd batten deal.
Oh my days. Anyway, I've always liked Lion King. Even when they did the theatrical productions in the UK, I went to see it not just once because I had a friend that was getting us tickets. We went to see it so many times. So
okay, the Lion King musical.
The Lion King musical.
In the UK. Oh, nice.
In the UK, in the
theater. Because I saw that today too.
Okay.
It was actually today that I found out that there was actually a Lion King musical.
Oh, the musical has been on for a long while.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to move on. We're running out of time for our next story, which is up next. Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas are spending Thanksgiving in India ahead of their December wedding. So very, very interesting one.
Yeah, and then the picture she shared that I really admired the most was one where she was leaning on him and the caption was, "Welcome home, baby."
Yeah, I saw that picture in the back of a car.
So yeah, I was like,
I actually saw that yesterday on Instagram and it made the rounds before it came onto the headlines today. So very sweet. Like I said, these guys were set to get married. I think it was Lakwe that was saying not this year.
I think it was April.
Sorry?
I think it was you.
Oh, we're not going to have this argument.
Just because you don't want to buy lunch to come. But how much is lunch? I'm not that expensive now. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just Chinese.
Because I was telling Lakme at the time that, you know, for someone to travel all the way to India, that this relationship was definitely set. Priyanka is not going to waste her time on someone and take them all the way to see her people if she doesn't think she can settle down with him. You know, so I'm quite happy for them. And I think Nick is really, really pleased as well about this. I hope that, you know, with so much enthusiasm in their
never
wedding.
know though until they get married.
I'm
not wishing them
I was going to say
anything bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw the story about the girl in Game of Thrones that has been engaged for 11 years and then they just broke up.
They were not engaged for 11 years. They were in a relationship for 11 years. They
got engaged when?
Yeah, I think it was 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but they've been together for 11 years.
But I think in this case, the date has been set December 1st, right? So let's just watch the space.
That was what I was saying. You didn't let me land. I was like, I hope it doesn't turn out to be a nightmare at the end of the day, because at the beginning, everything just looks really, really good.
Yeah.
And I hope their marriage does last.
I hope so too.
All right. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. Stay tuned for more entertainment stories right after this quick break. It's where the big stories live. This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was full on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got two.
of the hottest topics currently trending on social media. If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about like 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. Up next is this story on Two-Face Idibia, who shades Nigerian government as he lands at Ghana's airport. Okay, so Ife, you've lived in Ghana, so let me start with you. I don't know, at the time when you lived, had they finished this airport?
Yeah, it was looking this good then, but I think it looks a lot better now.
So they just did refurbishments to the... Okay. So, I thought it was newly built.
Yeah, no, Kotoko Airport has always been on point. But one thing I admire about Two-Face is he didn't call out names. Yeah. Like he said some people on the other side, and then he was being very diplomatic about it, so you would know that, okay, he's not trying to get in no trouble with anybody, especially this election period that people need to make campaign songs and things like that. So you wouldn't want to lose out on that. So obviously, he's not calling out names like, what's his name? Aremu Afolayan did. He actually called out names and
because if he had called out names, perhaps he would have been told to sort of be appeased to apologize once again.
Yes.
And so, this is not the first time that Two-Face has gotten into things like this.
Yeah,
the last time he was supposed to get himself in the protest and rally. But I was a bit surprised that he backed out during that time, though.
No, he didn't back out. They didn't let him. I think they frustrated all his efforts. It was a nationwide
campaign. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't let him because his wife spoke at the time. The people organizing it also spoke, and some people were advising him not to, just because they didn't want to see him. I don't know, because I think if Two-Face had his way, he would have gone out there too. It's the peaceful demonstration. People should be allowed to demonstrate peacefully. Yeah, but in the UK, when people demonstrate, they request for demonstration and they make sure the police are there.
Well, we all know how peaceful demonstrations in Nigeria usually turn out.
But the thing is, if you've been pre-informed, then all they need to do is just take extra efforts that it doesn't go haywire.
Well, I won't say he backed out. I just feel like some people frustrated his effort. Some people just felt like, no, it wasn't the right time for a Two-Face. I think a Two-Face is a preferable face for me to run for an office in government, because
somehow I think he will probably not be interested after going through all of these demonstrations.
I feel at some
point in the
future he would.
I think, right now, you know what? Maybe if and only if, I think if someone like Banky W actually gets the post and does a very good job, and then by that time people will be more open to more young people coming into politics, and if he succeeds, then I think Two-Face may reconsider and be like, oh, I used to have this dream once, perhaps I should get into politics once again. But let's talk about Ghana and its airport, and internationally speaking, and even Nigeria's airport, you must have been to...
Nigeria's airport is it's a total disgrace and a shame.
Especially
Dele Momodu has been pointing this out for years. It's not today that every time Dele Momodu is at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, he always posts a video
in
or he
Abuja,
always says something.
The airport is even up to a certain standard, so that's reasonable.
But it is just so bad. Like you see broken, what do they call it? Ceilings, broken lights. But I have
to say though, they've done some refurbishments recently.
Well, I haven't been there lately, so
they've done some refurbishments lately.
But I just think we can do a whole lot better because of a country where we're being globally recognized, and a lot of people are beginning to come into our country.
By the way, this is an international airport that is also in like the heartbeat center of Nigeria, the commercial center of Nigeria. So we need an international station, an international airport that represents the whole country as a whole, not just Lagos.
And there's this saying that goes, first impression lasts forever. So if my first impression when I land in your country is negative, then why won't I believe what somebody tells me about your country that is negative? Do you understand? Because I'm saying firsthand for myself, what your airport looks like, so what you expect me to think. So it's just a terrible thing, and I think the government should look into it and change it.
I remember one time the UK ambassador to this country was complaining at one point in time. I can't remember if I saw it on TV or if I was actually there at the press conference, and he was asking, you know, yes, I think it was the Lagos State
You're
government.
always in those royal circles, so I'm
yeah,
sure you were at the press conference.
Okay. But the Lagos government assured him that they were making efforts to refurbish the Lagos, the MM2 airport, and I think that was when they actually started the refurbishments at the time. So everything is coming back to me now. Okay. But Ghana has done very well for
very
herself,
well, because
you know.
if you watch that Two Faces video, you would see that was like a state-of-the-art kind of
exactly
thing.
And in all of my international travel, I have to say the MM2 airport is like the worst. I'm like, seriously, when you go
even
to
other African countries,
even other African countries, and even I've been to like Asia as well, where they have, oh my goodness, you need to see some of their airports. I'm like, wow, international standard.
I do. I buy my travel tickets for Christmas now. Let me take a holiday.
If you're on a 6-figure salary, or should I say 8-figure salary, so you should be able to afford it.
I bet, help us. If you are listening, don't mind this guy. Oh, my help us is lying.
Oh, anyway, time for another break. When we come back, it'll be time to analyze yet another interesting story. Stay here.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, dem go beat you.
Na 2,500 dey pay.
Welcome back. You're tuned to Plus TV Africa, where the big stories live, and you're watching Tea Time, which brings you the really big entertainment stories. Our next story is on Davido and his crew, who are accused of stealing in the UK. So yesterday, I actually saw this trending on Instagram, and I quickly sent it to the producer that, you know, we need to talk about this, you know. And I'm glad some of the headlines on the blogs and the news headlines have basically picked this up, because I thought, what on earth? They are really accusing Davido, our very own Davido.
No, but it's not. But I don't think it was.
No, not Davido, but someone in his crew. Yeah, because initially I saw what was going on, and they were talking, and then before you knew it, someone just came to Davido to tell him what was going on. Yeah. And Davido was like, seriously?
No, he was in the store with them initially.
Yeah.
According to him, they bought stuff worth
7,000 pounds,
and I had to check.
They were just on their way out when they came.
And that is like very close to 1.5 million naira. So I'm like, okay, so if you spend 1.5 million, how can they accuse you of
That's why he's saying that this was a racist move.
And then he said he's going to sue them. So I hope it does so. If
I don't think it will go through
if it hasn't been resolved yet, because I believe by now they must have resolved it. So, but I think he should sue, because this is slander, this is defamation on his character and his crews.
No, but they didn't even say anything about Davido himself. You know, it was someone within his camp that they were saying.
Yeah, but regardless, he is the face of the 30 billion gang, so we all know.
The UK doesn't recognize him or recognize that.
Oh, shaking the table.
They're not going to say,
Davido,
look,
and then,
but the thing is, even if it's not Davido, hold on, even if it's just a UK celebrity who is well known in that place, if someone in your camp, if they suspect anything, they're not, you're not above the law.
Well, they're doing their job, though.
Exactly, that's what they're going to say, that they were doing their job.
If they find fact that they were actually guilty. Of course,
Exactly.
regardless of whether it's Davido or
So
not
he can't come
Davido, the
back
truth
for-
needs to be brought to light.
That's what they are saying, and
so
that's
they're doing
the way.
their job,
Exactly.
and I really do not blame them.
Yeah,
and,
so for you to use
sometimes-
that and say that's racism,
Yeah.
it's going to be very tricky.
Yeah,
They will
and
need
then
a very good
sometimes
lawyer.
people want to hide behind the canopy of, oh, I'm with
Celebrity,
Davido to
exactly.
now
Do you know
certain
there's a
things.
part of me that says this can actually be true because the person, not Davido, maybe the person in his camp, I'm not
Yeah.
saying I know who it is, but I'm just saying one part of me just thinks that, okay, maybe that person would have taken advantage that, oh, this is Davido, they're never going to say anything, or this is Davido, we spent 7,000.
And you
they're
never know, it could have been a
It
mix-up too,
yeah,
so
completely. Exactly. So it's like 50-50 to be honest.
50-50.
And then I just remember that there are actually some celebrities who have been known to actually pick up here and there or shoplift. Not here in Nigeria, I don't know, but at least in the US, I know a few cases like Winona Ryder, a Hollywood actress.
Yeah.
She was actually, and I think she actually spent time or did community service, one or the other, but she was well known for having stole.
And was it your queen one time that was reported to be a kleptomaniac?
Seriously, Ife, I'm not even going to go down that route with you.
It's just a question.
Final thoughts on this before.
Well, it's like you said, it's a 50-50 chance. We just hope the truth comes to light at the end of the day.
All right, on that note, that's where we're going to wrap up on the afternoon show. But before we go, allow me to quickly thank my co-anchor, Ife, for his contribution on the program. And I can't forget the production team as well, including our stylist operating under Kudi's empire. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo, and from all of us here, have a good afternoon.